is going to be a really fun one. Today we are covering closing. It's one of the biggest questions I get asked from agents from all over the industry is like, what is the best close? What's the best strong close? How can I close this? How can I close that? Everybody's always focused on the close. Okay, so we definitely figured it's good for us to spend some time, okay, on it today. So first off, let's just go over what your close is. Okay, really simply, it's a question for commitment. Okay, it's all our closes. It's not some super fancy schmancy, okay, try to get them to do what you want them to do type of deal. Like, really, we're just asking for commitment. Okay, so to line up a good close, you have to crush discovery. Okay, but so once you've done your discovery, okay, you really feel you have a good understanding of where their pain point is. Now you get this feeling like it's finally time in the call, okay, to ask for the commitment. So really what we're doing here by asking for the commitment is selling the next best steps, that we would like them to take. So maybe that's speaking with the lender, maybe it's a buyer discovery, maybe it's a seller discovery, maybe it's to go see homes. Okay, and just flat out, want to go and do some showings. But that is what you want your close, okay, to be able to sell to that prospect as the next step, okay, is what you want them to now go and do. So some closes are meant for buyers who are a year out or sellers who are a year out, and some are designed for buyers and sellers who are ready to make a move tomorrow. Okay, and as you go through this training, you'll start to understand what close to use when, how to say it, and how to become really confident in it, because that is major key, okay, to being successful during a close is being confident in what you're saying. Okay, if you're not confident in what the next steps are, why would the prospect be confident in the next steps that you're giving them? Okay, so you can listen to this recording, you can show up to the morning role plays, but really to get your closes super dialed in, you're going to have to put some time of your own, into really practicing these. So that can be recording yourself and listening to them in your car. It could be reading them to your neighbor, to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend, to your husband, to your wife, to your kids. Okay, I've seen it all. I've literally had agents laminate them and put them up in their shower. Okay, so they can memorize them at a high level. So do what you need to do, okay, to get these really downloaded into your brain. But once you get them downloaded and you feel confident in them, that's when you're going to start really seeing results, okay, that come from a close. So before we dive into the actual closing phrases themselves, okay, to make life easy on you guys, the first thing we want to just go over is like, what are we closing on? So a lot of people think a close is just a generic close. For a close to work, it needs to be attached to something that the prospect said or is wanting to achieve, okay, out of this call with you. Okay, or you're in person, you're at the open house, who knows? Okay, but so you want to attach your close to their actual pain point that they have, and that's how you know you're lining up, okay, a good close. So you need to really listen, okay, because before you lay out your close, you're going to say something like, because you said that you want to be in a home in 90 days, John, because you said you've interviewed 9 realtors and haven't found one that you've liked, because you said that you've listed your home twice and it didn't sell, because you said that you're moving from Texas to California, okay, you need to grab something that they physically have told you, because that's what now makes the close to their situation specific instead of just a blanket, okay, close across the board. Okay, so that's step number one, is just really making sure you're listening to what they're saying, because what a high level sales rep will do is attach the close to something that they heard during the call. Now, the worst thing you can do is close too early. Okay, the last thing you want to do is be 2 minutes into the phone call and you drop a close. Okay, what you need to do for them to hear your close properly and for them to trust it enough that they want to take the next steps with you is you need to have enough rapport and understanding of what they're looking to do, which is why I just said previously, it's so important that you listen long enough to get an actual pain point so then you can close. Because saying, hey, John, because you said that you're not ready to purchase because the interest rates, this is what I'd like to do. It doesn't work very well. Okay, now you're trying to close on an objection. Okay, you need to close on a pain point. So, John, because you said the elections are making you nervous and wanting to make a buying decision, this is what I think the next best steps are. But it just needs to be attached, okay, to them. So I'm going to share my screen here, okay, and we're going to go over a few different closing phrases, okay, that you're going to have at your disposal. So we're going to start with 3 of our buyer closes. So we have a buyer close number 1, which is somebody who's ready now. We have a buyer close number 2, which is somebody who's ready in the future. Okay. And then we have a first-time buyer who's someone who's like mega excited and they can't even wait to hear the next steps. These are a blast. Okay. When you get them on the phone. So starting with our buyer close 1, ready now. Okay. We have, okay, Taylor, because you said blank, this is where you're now going to put their pain point. So, okay, Taylor, because you said you're moving from Texas and you need to be in a home here in Oceanside in the next 60 days, this is what I'd like to do. Let's set up a 10 to 15 minute for this week where I can get a better understanding of what you're looking for and make this a smooth, seamless process for you. I think it would be very beneficial towards accomplishing your goal and finding you the perfect new home. What day this week do you have 10 to 15 minutes for me? So what we did is we made the close towards their actual pain point, okay, what they're looking to achieve. We asked for the commitment, which is let's set up a 10 to 15 minute meeting for this week. Okay, so I can get a better understanding of what you're looking for. And then what is this meeting going to do for you? It's going to make it a smooth, seamless process. So we've covered all 3 things that they need to hear, okay, to want to commit in this short, simple close. Okay, so going through buyer close one more time. What I really want you to listen for is the tonality, the speed, and how it's being said instead of just the words that are on the piece of paper. Okay. Okay, Taylor, because you said that you've already seen about 4 to 5 homes online, that you like and potentially want to take a look at, this is what I'd like to do. Let's set up a 10 to 15 minute meeting for this week where I can get a better understanding of what you're looking for and make this a smooth, seamless process for you. I think it would be very beneficial towards accomplishing your goal and finding you the perfect new home. What day this week do you have 10 to 15 minutes for me? Okay, so if you can see, we're going in pretty precise. Okay, we're picking a good speed, so we're not going super slow. We're over pronunciating the words, okay, that we really want them to hear. Okay, so for example, I think this would be very beneficial towards accomplishing your goal and finding you the perfect new home. Okay, we're adding these pronunciations to be a little bit more excited, a little bit louder on certain sections in here for the parts that we really want them to hear. Okay, so that's somebody who you talk to who's ready to do something essentially within the next about 60 to 90 days. But really what matters on this is not their timeline, it's they're ready to meet with you. Like you can tell that they're connected with you, they're ready to meet with you and learn about the next steps. That is the perfect time, to use those clothes. Moving into ready in the future, I'd say about 70% of the buyers that you come across are not going to be ready to buy a home tomorrow. Okay, they're going to be looking for 60 days out, 90 days out, 6 months out, a year out. Okay, you don't necessarily know, until you really sit there and discover. But a lot of the people who are a year out, you don't want them to just slip through your fingertips. Okay, NAR showed that last year, 73% of buyers picked their agent because it was the first person they met with. So what you're doing by not booking an appointment, okay, during this first phone call is throwing away a 73% chance that they are using you as their future agent. Okay, so the name of the game here is what do I need to do to gain enough comfortability to show them that I heard that they're not looking to buy a home tomorrow, but I still think it's beneficial, for us to meet for 10 to 15 minutes. Because if somebody tells you they're a year out and you go and do the ready to now close, they're going to think you're just pushing them to buy a house. Okay, so diving into buyer close number 2, ready in the future, we're showing them that we heard their timeline, okay, and then we're showing value behind why they'd still want to meet with us, okay, now. So, okay, Taylor, I understand that you're about 7 months out, but based on what you're looking for, it's going to take a little bit of time to find, and there's going to be some steps that you need to take to ensure you're getting your home 7 months from now. Why don't we do this? Let's jump on a 15-minute Zoom, and I'm going to fully prepare you on the exact strategy to find your next home. This is just going to give you clarity over the next 7 months on how to get access to the best homes. When do you have 15 minutes for me? So we did exactly what we did in buyer close number 1 by showing them that we heard what they were saying, but instead of saying the pain point, we're saying the timeline. So, hey, John, I understand that you're about a year out. Hey, John, I understand that you're about 3 months out. Okay, it doesn't matter what the time frame is, but we've literally told it to them 3 times in this close back to them to make them understand that we heard what their timeline was and we're not just trying to rush them into a property. Okay, so let's do buyer close number 2. Okay, ready in the future one more time. Okay, Taylor, I understand that you're about 3 months out, but based on what you're looking for, it's going to take a little bit of time to find, and there's going to be some steps that you need to take to ensure that you're getting your home 3 months from now. Why don't we do this? Let's jump on a 15-minute Zoom, and I'm going to fully prepare you on the exact strategy to find your next home. This is just going to give you clarity over the next 3 months on how to get access to the best homes. When do you have 15 minutes for me? So once again, we've confirmed with them that we heard what they were saying. They're 3 months out. We've asked for a commitment, which is a 15-minute Zoom, and we've let them know what that Zoom is going to do for them. It's going to fully prepare them on the exact strategy to find their next home. Okay, so once again, we've hit our 3 points here. Okay, and buyer close number 2. Buyer close number 3. Okay, this is going to be one of your favorite ones. So this is like a first-time home buyer who's super excited and can't even believe that they won the lottery and is talking with you on the phone. Okay, so these are going to be really fun ones for you. These ones, we're following the same process, but what we're really trying to do here is return the excitement. Okay, back to them. Because if they're excited and we're excited, this is going to go much smoother. If you're not excited, they're not going to be excited, and it's going to be all downhill, okay, with you from there. So they're going to return the energy that you give them on the end of the phone. So if it's a first-time home buyer and they don't really know what they're expecting, so they have that little bit of excitement, you want to return it on a 10x level, okay, and really help them feel, excited about this. So let's dive into buyer close number 3. Thank you so much for breaking everything down for me. I have an amazing understanding of your end goal and what you're looking for in your next home. Are you ready to hear the next steps to make this all happen? Fantastic. I'm going to make this super easy for you. We're going to set up what I call a buyer discovery. This is where I'll show you a step-by-step plan on exactly how we're going to get you into your new home 90 days from now. What this does is provide extreme clarity on the process. It also provides me an opportunity to go over all the amazing benefits and tools you currently have access to. What is a good day this week? Do you have 20 minutes for me? Okay, once again, we've confirmed that we heard what they were saying by saying, thank you for breaking everything down, and I have an amazing understanding of your end goal and what you're looking for in your next home. Confirming with them that I've heard everything that they just said. I've asked for a commitment, which is scheduling the buyer discovery, and I've showed them what they're going to get out of it, which is a step-by-step plan, okay, extreme clarity over the process, and an opportunity to go over all the benefits that they currently have access to. Those are 3 things that they should be super excited about. Okay, so as long as you do it with an excited energy back to them, they're going to be in that excited state, okay, and return back the energy that you just gave them on the phone. Okay, so if you notice on every single one of these closes, we're covering those 3 things, even though they're worded a bit differently. Okay, so let's do buyer close number 3 one more time before we move on to some seller closes. Okay, so thank you so much for breaking everything down for me. I have an amazing understanding of your end goal and what you're looking for in the next home. Are you ready to hear the next steps to make this all happen? Awesome. I'm going to make it super easy for you. We're going to set up what I call a buyer discovery. This is where I'll show you a step-by-step plan on exactly how we're going to get you into your new home build within the next 30 days. What this does is provide extreme clarity over the process. It also provides me an opportunity to go over all the amazing benefits and tools you currently get access to. What's a good day this week? Do you have 20 minutes for me? So if you see, this is a very direct close, but not in a forceful way. It's just very clearly lining out what the next steps are so they know the direction that they need to take. Okay, so moving on to our next page here. Okay, so these are going to be our selling closes, okay, that you're going to see here. So we have the same thing. We have moving on to our seller closes. Okay, these are very fun. Again, if you notice, they're very, very similar, okay, to what it is that we just did, okay, for our buyers, just worded a bit differently. So the most important thing with a seller, you have to remember you're being invited into somebody's home. Strangers don't invite strangers, okay, into people's homes. It's just weird. That's like, you probably cringed at the fact that I even just said that. Okay, so like just imagine like they're literally inviting you into where they sleep, where they eat, where they raise their kids. Like this is a big deal, getting invited to somebody's house. Okay, so once again, you need to crush it in discovery to line up your close. Okay, everyone thinks you close in closing, you don't. You close in discovery, which is why for me, by the time I'm getting to the closing, I already know they're closed. All I'm doing is providing next steps. Okay, that's how you should feel by the time you're going into these. So, what we need to very clearly do here is provide value and provide what sellers are looking for, which almost 100% of the time is options. Okay, so make your life easy and always close on options. Okay, with sellers, don't close on the listing presentation. They get so many agents each week, each month, each year that ask them if they can come give them a listing presentation. Okay, they've heard that 100 times. So instead, what we sell is the options, okay, and the value behind us meeting with them. And that's why we can get in so many sellers' homes, okay, every single month. So let's start off with our seller close number one, very similar to buyer close number one, which is somebody who's ready now. Okay, I can't even tell you how many homes that we have gone into with this particular close here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's been over 100 properties, okay, that this close has gotten us in the door on. Okay, Taylor, I appreciate you taking the time to break that down for me. This is what I'd like to do. I can only be so accurate without seeing the home. Let's set up a time this week where I can swing by and take a look at the property. Then I'll be able to put together what I call our PLP. This will simply provide you with all the options for the sale of the home. From there, you can decide if selling makes any sense. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. So now what we're really highlighting here is one, they really want this PLP, okay, because it's not a listing presentation. And two, they want it because it's going to give them all the options for the sale of their home. So stop selling your reviews, stop selling based off how many homes you've sold, okay, and start selling on how many options that you can provide. Because the person with the most options and the best options, they're the ones who's getting the sale of the home, not the person who sold the most homes in the community. Okay, so we'll go through this one more time. Okay, Taylor, I appreciate you taking the time to break that down for me. This is what I'd like to do. I can only be so accurate without seeing the home. Let's set up a time this week where I can swing by and take a quick look at the property. Then I'll be able to put together what I call our PLP. This will simply provide you with all the options for the sale of the home. From there, you can decide if selling makes any sense. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay, and notice how you're pausing where all these commas are and you're not just blasting through them, okay, like a truck with no brakes. Like we're professional, we're clean, we're precise. Okay, and there's a reason that all these commas and all these periods are here. Okay, it's because you're supposed to pause. Okay, so make sure that you're really reading the commas, the pauses, the speed, okay, the tone that's in here, because that's what's most important with the close. It's not necessarily the words that you're saying, it's how you're saying them, the conviction in your voice by how much you've practiced it. And when I say this close, people know that I've done this close thousands of times. Okay, and making over 500,000 calls, okay, during my time here with FAM, it's given me lots of practice of asking for people's business. And that's why I say on this close alone, I can guarantee you that I've booked over 100 doors, okay, that we've gone inside. Okay, this close work, but it has to be done properly, which is not just blasting through it, okay, like you see on YouTube or, you know, in a movie. Like it's taking your time, being precise, being professional, pausing when you're supposed to pause, and making them feel really comfortable with saying yes, okay, to you on the other side of the phone. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones as well. Seller close number two, ready in the future. Almost every seller thinks that they're ready to sell in the future and not now. It's kind of just the life of sellers. Okay, a lot of them think that, oh no, we won't be ready to sell forever. Then you talk to them 20 minutes into the call and forever means 90 days, okay, to them. So this ready in the future, okay, what we're really doing here is just highlighting that they may not be ready to make a major commitment right now on this phone call. So what we want to do is make them feel just comfortable enough, okay, to still let us either hop on a Zoom or come to the house in person. Okay, we still want to get that connection so we can keep our 73% chance, you know, of having them of a client just based off the first phone call. Okay, so already in the future, what we're doing, very similar to buyer close number two, is highlighting the fact that we understand that they are not ready. Okay, that's really what we're doing here with this intro, is we're just telling them, I understand that you're not in the phase to make a decision right now. Okay, so, okay, Jake, to me, it really sounds like you're in the discovery phase. You're just gathering all the information and learning all your options. I'm not sure if this is for you. But a lot of my clients who are also in the discovery phase find it very beneficial to just have all the correct information in front of them so they can make a confident decision. Let's set up a time this week where I can provide you a simple step-by-step plan that gives you all the knowledge, all the options, and will put you in the most empowered place to make a decision. What's a good day this week? You have 20 minutes for me. Okay, this will work all the time. All the time. Okay, I promise you. If it doesn't work, you're not saying it right. Okay, and you need to watch this video 3 more times. Okay, and say it 50 more times. Because I promise you, what this close is doing is highlighting that we understand that they're not looking to make a decision today. Okay, but I still want to give you exactly what every homeowner who's thinking of selling would want, which is a simple step-by-step plan. They want all the knowledge, all the options, and it's going to put them in the most empowered place to make a decision. I would say that's worth 20 minutes with me at the house. So instead of selling, well, how about you just take all my options so you have them for the future? How about you just let me show you what we do for our marketing action plan? They're not even ready to see a marketing action plan. Okay, that's too much for their brain, okay, to process. So that's why we're bringing it down nice and simple. We're not making it overwhelming, and we're making it easy for somebody to say yes. It's really what a lot of these closes are. We're making it easy for them to say yes. Okay, so seller close number 2, one more time. Okay, Jake, to me, it really sounds like you're in the discovery phase. You're just gathering all the information and learning all your options. I'm not sure if this is for you, but a lot of my clients who are also in the discovery phase find it very beneficial to just have all the correct information in front of them so they can make a confident decision. Let's set up a time this week where I can provide you with a simple step-by-step plan that gives you all the knowledge, all the options, and will put you in the most empowered place to make a decision. What's a good day this week? Do you have 20 minutes for me? Get it out clean, get it out precise, find your speed, find your tone, and I promise you, you'll land appointments with this like no other. Okay, first-time seller are very excited young homeowners who are upgrading, okay, into their new, larger property. Okay, it's usually are people who are super over the moon excited. Maybe you have a downsizer, somebody who's been begging to get some less space and upgrade their quality of life, but this is typically for somebody who has reached out to you. Okay, maybe it's somebody you've been following up with for a while. Maybe it's a neighbor that came into the open house, but this is typically someone who has raised their hand on a pretty high level, to want to work with you already, or want to sell. Okay, and go ahead and sell their house. So seller close number 3, first-time seller, our excited one. Thank you so much for breaking everything down for me. I have an amazing understanding of your end goal and what you're looking to achieve in the home sale. Are you ready to hear what the next steps are to make this all happen? Awesome. I'm going to make it super easy for you. We're going to set up what I call a seller discovery. This is where I'll show you a step-by-step on exactly how we're going to put your home on market and break another neighborhood record. What this does is provide extreme clarity on the process. It also provides me an opportunity to go over all the amazing benefits and tools you currently have access to. What's a good day this week? Do you have 20 minutes for me? Okay, notice it's very similar, okay, to our buyer close number 3. Okay, our first-time buyer, excited. It follows the same outline because what we're doing is now that we've covered all this stuff, we've done all the work, are you ready to hear how we're going to make this all happen? You are fantastic. I'm going to make it super easy for you. We're going to set up a seller discovery. It's going to show you a step-by-step plan on how we're going to achieve blank, whatever their goal is. So maybe it's speed, maybe it's price, maybe it's smoothness. Okay, who knows? There's lots of different goals that homeowners can have with their home. And then you're going to tell them what this is going to do for them. Okay, because of this appointment, you're going to have extreme clarity on the process. It also provides me an opportunity to go over all the amazing benefits and tools you currently have access to. What's a good day this week? You have 20 minutes for me. Okay, so once again, we're following that same outline. We're following it because it works. Okay, because what we're doing is keeping them excited. Okay, we're telling them exactly what it is, okay, that they want to hear and what they want to know, okay, about the property. So to bring our closing, okay, here to a closing is just remember, okay, the most important part here is close when you feel it's time to close. If you're forcing a close, it's not at the right time. Okay, so remember, closing happens in discovery. So if you spend 10% of your call in the intro, 80% in discovery, and this last final 10% is whipping out an extremely strong close, you will be money for conversion. Okay, you're going to be filling your pipeline, you're going to be filling appointment mets, you're going to be signing agreements, and everything will just be in flow. Okay, but you just need to remember, don't close 2 minutes into the call because you don't have enough rapport built, enough comfortability built where they understand what these next steps are even going to mean, and they don't really want to hear them from you anyways. You need to get them to a point of comfortability where they want to hear what these next steps are that you're providing. And now that you're doing them in a very confident way, they're just saying yes, because there's nothing else left to really say. Okay, so practice these closes, okay, multiple times each. You're going to think I'm exaggerating, but 50 times out loud each, okay, would be a good start, okay, to getting an understanding for these closes. I've quite literally read some of these closes thousands of times, okay? 500,000 calls puts you in a pretty good place to understand where you need to put time, where you don't need to put time. And a lot of mine was on discovery and was on closing, okay? And that's what got me to such a high conversion. So take everything you've learned in this video, implement it, and go out and close some prospects.